Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Nightmare Mode run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing my favorite run probably in the entire game. At least it's using my favorite weapon and one of my favorite characters. We're going to be doing Renegade with Shuriken. While Shuriken, I think, is a weak weapon in Nightmare Mode in general, the Renegade's extra projectiles kind of offset the low per hit damage on the shurikens, and you just end up with a ridiculous amount of attacks, and that's obviously just a tremendous amount of fun. So I always enjoy this run a lot because it just ends up so chaotic and ridiculous in the late game. Renegade as a character is all about collecting different level 1 items. The way that the character works, of course, you get extra damage for every unique level 1 item that you have. And it's very important to get as many of those as possible, as early as possible, to fix your percent damage. That's, once you've gotten a reasonable amount of percent damage, the character becomes absurdly strong, because it just has extra projectiles and piercing for free at that point. I'll buy the early harvesting items here, and then we'll roll, buy a shuriken, roll, buy another one. One other kind of hidden advantage of Renegade with shurikens is, on most characters, it can actually be somewhat hard to find shurikens, even though they're cheap, because precise is a big weapon tag. But Renegade can't use melee weapons, which means that they don't show up in the shop. Since most precise weapons are melee weapons, that actually means that you're much more likely to find shurikens if you're rolling for them on this character than on another character trying to use the same weapon. I'll roll here, and we'll take 10 attack speed. That's great. We'll buy a shuriken. We'll roll again. All right, I would have loved to find a level 1 shuriken here. I would have preferred that. And in fact, what I'm going to do here is we'll buy the fertilizer and then do one reroll to see if we can lock a level 1 shuriken. And we were able to do that since we can have a level 2 and level 1 show up. So this is kind of a perfect result for us. Now I'm going to need some melee damage because I'm buying Peaceful Bee, I'm buying Fertilizer, that's reducing my damage. So we're hoping for like a +4 melee damage level up. I also need to not walk into every attack. I would have loved to kill that curse alien, but I wasn't able to there. I'll just take the 2 damage here and offset the damage penalty we've gained. We'll take 2 armor. We'll buy the weapon levels here. And then, do I want Peaceful Bee? Do I want Whistle first? I guess I'll buy the Peaceful Bee, and then I can roll. We'll lock a shuriken. While these are level 1 items that we don't have yet, and we will buy them, don't get me wrong, we're not going to lock them because they're pretty weak, and we can definitely find better ones. But you do have to buy every unique level 1 item that the game offers you. You just don't need to lock really bad ones early, because there's enough level 1 items in the game that you'll find something else that you can buy that gives an actual stat in addition to the 2% damage. Really nice to get that buffer kill there early, because it's going to make the rest of the wave much easier. Got the 1 curse alien kill. I don't think we're going to be able to clear the second one, so I'm just going to pick up a bunch of money here where possible. I could take 8 harvesting and get to 21 or higher harvesting, but I kind of have to roll for melee damage, I think, because right now my per hit damage is very low. I could take attack speed or crit chance, and I guess let's just take 10 attack speed. We'll buy shuriken, we'll buy whistle, we'll buy Scared Sausage. Now that I have the Scared Sausage, Toxic Sludge is a little more interesting, so I will lock that. And then we're just going to lock all these other items as well. Scared Sausage is sort of like 1 extra damage per attack. And the Toxic Sludge can make it maybe 2 extra damage per attack once I've gotten a few more points of percent damage. I'm always going to take that hit just because the buffing alien really got me there, and the fact that there's a cursed mantis shrimp here is super dangerous because it's just absorbing a lot of damage. So this is going to be a really rough wave for us because the buffing alien and the healers kept me from actually killing stuff. And that's because my melee damage is very low, so it was hard to actually get those kills. Alright, so I'm going to buy the items we don't have. Do I want a second scared sausage? It still only ticks for 1. I think we're going to ban that. I'm just going to focus on getting my my weapons to do damage, and 1 scared sausage is enough. I'll buy all of this stuff, because this is all level 1 items that we don't have. I know everyone always wants to add elemental damage into non-elemental builds, so I think many players would have gone all in on the second scared sausage there, but I think it will make your build much harder to use overall. The anemones shouldn't be that big a danger to us, because we just kill them with the bounces. We already have a toxic sludge, so we can just ban that. We want to ban level 1 items we already have a copy of, because then level 1 items we don't have a copy of are more likely to show up. I'll take the 10 luck here. I could start building dodge as well, but I think 10 luck is fine, and then we'll take 10% more attack speed. Attack speed is more important than crit chance for this weapon in the early game, just to make sure we can actually clear enemies. We'll buy the pencil, and then we will re-roll here, buy a shuriken, buy a cake. That's a nice find as well, because my max HP was really bad. We'll roll. I'll buy corrupted shard, and we'll lock ugly tooth and alien tongue as well. So we've gotten all our weapons to level 2. That's a great start here. So I ran at the healer alien to try to kill it at the start of this wave, and then we were able to clear the walrus and goblin shark pretty quickly because they weren't getting healed. So very important to kill things in the right order in these waves. Nightmare mode heavily incentivizes you killing enemies in specific orders, because a lot of the time it gets much harder if you don't. Yep, we'll take the jelly. This is a level 1 item we don't have. I have to take 4 melee damage. We have 0 currently. And then we're going to buy this whole shop. And we can afford it all, which is great. We'll definitely take a cursed tree. I'll take tentacle as well. Obviously, this isn't a level 1 item, but it's an incredible crit synergy item. And, yep, we'll take fairy. That's a lot of healing for this character. I could buy the blood leech even also, because lifesteal is very powerful as well. But I think we will avoid locking that for now. Alright, so I just need to survive this wave and then buy some armor, and then the fairy will kind of carry our regeneration. And if we get a little bit of lifesteal to go with our many projectiles, we'll be in great shape. But fairy, of course, it's unlocked by this character, which is kind of funny since you usually want lifesteal and not regen on the Renegade, but it's still a very powerful item because fairy is broken on everybody. Back off from these lampreys. We don't yet have enough damage to kill them quickly, so I need to kind of pick away at them. Tanked some hits there, so I need to be very, very careful, and we'll pick up some consumables. Get that loot alien kill. There is still a curse alien, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to clear as much. I'll kill the tree and clear as many enemies as we can. Insanity, an amazing find. More crit chance, super important. Here, I'm going to take 3 armor. I could roll for melee damage as well, but getting to 5 armor makes us way safer. And then we'll buy these things. Bonk Dog I don't need. I will roll. We'll lock a rat and a boiling water. These are 2 level 1 items that we don't have yet. It kind of confused me because the Renegade icon was replaced with the fairy icon, but of course those mean the same thing. It just Even though I know that's how it worked. Gave me pause for a second there. So I let one of the big slashers hatch. I need to be careful not to let that happen too much, because when you're using shurikens, of course, your damage is very spread out thanks to the bouncing shots. So if you let too many really high health enemies get on the field, you can definitely get overwhelmed. And I need to pick up some consumable healing. Try to clear a few of the slashers. Kind of a rough wave there, actually. I'll take the spyglass when it shows up in a box. I'll take 3 lifesteal so we can heal a little faster. And then here, I'm going to reroll, and 6 melee damage. This is what we really needed. That'll help get us to where our weapons are actually killing things. We'll buy these items. I will take the small magazine. Of course, we need percent damage, but we need attack speed as well. And then I will roll. I think I can pass on Snail and Cauldron here. I think there's just more important stuff for us to find. Because remember, level 1 items are just so powerful for this character. We'll buy the acid, and that'll help fix my max HP, and then we can lock all of this stuff and go to wave 10. Getting the double tree spawn there. That was kind of fun. Both of them spawning on top of each other. Trees will tend to spawn in clusters. There's actually some really weird and interesting behavior for where trees will spawn. There's some points on the map where they're allowed to spawn, and then they kind of spawn in a randomized radius around that, which is why you'll tend to see clusters of trees. Here I'll pick up some lifesteal, and then I don't really need the 60 range. I'll just take the movement speed, get that back positive. We will buy this whole shop, and then roll. I probably have to buy the riposte here. It's not something that I want to do, but my per hit damage is really low, so I do need to increase my melee damage. Okay, well, I mean, I was gonna build an only shuriken run, but obviously we're gonna build the Gatling laser when it shows up, especially for this character, so we'll go ahead and lock that. And then I will do one more reroll. We'll lock a muscly dude and a butterfly. So now I'm gonna need some ranged damage to go with our Gatling laser. And hopefully I make 600 materials this wave. I actually maybe should have saved some money, because we may not be able to buy the laser next wave. In fact, I think we probably won't, even though it's a horde wave. So I want to be in the corner. When I get pushed to the corner, which we will, because this is a horde wave, and our damage is fine, but not so high that we're going to clear everything and not get pushed to the corner. I want to go to the bottom right corner, because the projectiles are coming from the left, and typically, for me at least, and I think probably for most people, it's easier to dodge when your character is on the bottom of the map than on the top of the map, because of the direction that your eye travels. Now, I'm trying to move around in order to get that loot alien. I don't think we killed it. With the bounces, yeah, it was still alive at the end there. And I didn't make enough money to buy the Gatling laser right away, but we'll save some money. Here, I'm going to take some more melee damage just to make sure we can actually clear the next wave. And then we'll buy these items. I will roll once and roll one more time. With 24 regen, we can buy the Weird Ghost here, and then I'm going to pass on the Lucky Charm, actually. I wouldn't mind the luck, but it's not that important, and we'll save 200 materials so that we can buy the Gatling laser. But I've got regen and lifesteal, so no problem buying the Weird Ghost there, and that also gets me to 50 HP or 47 HP, which is a much more comfortable value. No materials dropped from that enhanced hatcher, always sad. This wave compared to the Horde wave shouldn't be a big deal. We got the +6 melee damage, so now my shurikens are actually clearing. And of course, we've found a reasonable number of level 1 items, so my percent damage is no longer horrible, meaning that we now out-damage most other characters. Alright, I need to pick up materials here. Oh, are we still short? I think we're still short. I was not expecting that, to be honest. Okay, well, we'll wait one more wave. I will buy the Frozen Heart, because this actually increases our damage by a lot. And I'll do one roll. I'll buy a shuriken, buy a landmines, and we'll save 260. And then this wave for sure will get there. But this is the Abyss, and these middle waves in the Abyss don't give you that much money. So you know what? We're building anticipation. And yeah, I don't have much harvesting, and the middle Abyss waves don't actually give you that much money, so it's been kind of hard to collect enough materials to get the Gatling laser. I'm trying to pick up everything here, because I'm actually, I might be short again. Go through the middle here and grab as many as we can. Okay, nice, we made it. The little frog I'm just going to recycle here. And then I'll take 3 ranged damage to go with our Gatling laser. And then we'll go ahead and combine, buy the laser, buy the claw tree. And then we'll go to wave 14 here. Gatling laser might be... I mean, I said shuriken was my favorite weapon. Gatling laser might actually be my favorite weapon just because of how ridiculous it looks when it's working. Now, I don't think that its damage is actually going... I think the shurikens are going to be more effective than the Gatling laser because we've built melee damage and not ranged damage. They bounce and it doesn't. But of course, we're never going to turn down a legendary like that. But I do think if your goal is strictly 100%, what's the most efficient decision for winning the run, you actually shouldn't buy the Gatling laser there. I guess I'll take the Gatling gun because it does benefit from the Pierce and extra projectiles for the Renegade. And then I will roll here, and we'll take some more attack speed. So this did 14k. Okay, so it is out-damaging my other weapons, so that's nice to see. We will upgrade shurikens. We'll buy Black Belt and Broken Mouth and Corrupted Shard. Those are all fine to buy. Jelly, I don't really need more max HP. I'm just going to ban this because it's a level 1 item that we already have. And then we'll circle this elite while it's in its mobile form, and then once it goes into its static form, we'll kill the enhanced hatcher so that that's less pressure on our movement, and then we'll just stand next to the elite motionless until we kill it. The cursed enhanced hatcher, definitely a dangerous enemy. It does a lot of or it creates a lot of health, and it has a lot of health. And it also does do a lot of damage if you let the slashers spawn, or if you walk into it, though that's relatively easily avoided. You can see our Gatling gun is firing multiple projectiles. It is kind of funny with the Gatling gun that it has 2 guns, and it only fires from one of them. The projectile, like the the origin point for the projectiles is always on the right-hand side of it. So I would lose 5 regen to buy the exoskeleton, but I still think it's worth it. It's just good stats. I don't need the wheelbarrow at this point. I will re-roll. I'll take some more range damage for our Gatling gun. We'll go ahead and buy the shuriken here. Roll again. I don't need baby squid at this point in the run. We'll buy a shuriken. I don't want to lose ranged damage for the Gatling laser, so we'll pass there. We'll buy charcoal. I'll just ban Vigilante Ring so we can get a free reroll, and then we will buy the Gecko. Grind's Magical Leaf will still tick 3 times, right? 17, 18, 19, so that is worth it. We actually don't get any regen out of it, but we get 9 health and 3 lifesteal, which is still good. And we'll lock the shuriken as well. And we don't get any regen out of it because we lose 3 from the fairy. Getting some more curse alien kills at this point. I mean, the only thing that we could get that would be better than our current setup is a cursed Gatling laser. Or another different legendary would also be awesome, even though it would reduce our max health. We'll go ahead and buy all of these items. I'll lock the hedgehog. Melee and range damage are both good for us right now. And then we'll roll a couple times, lock a shuriken. I don't think I need the salt water, and we'll pass on the laser turret as well. Trying to dodge a few attacks here. My max HP still is okay, but not incredible. So, if we get it in an efficient way, I'll take some, because that'll make me a little safer. But really what I need is just more armor, more lifesteal, you know, more damage. The nightmare mode stat. This wave, we're kind of struggling to make a bunch of money. Okay, I can't afford to take the ricochet, I don't think. I guess it works with the Gatling laser. It's much worse for our shurikens. It doesn't do anything for them. But you know what? Let's take it. We'll go maximum chaos. And then here, this is my guaranteed level 20 upgrade. So I am going to roll for armor here because we are in a little bit of trouble sometimes, and we'll take this damage, or we'll take these items. We'll buy the bag here, mostly for the % damage. We'll buy a shuriken upgrade. We'll roll. Alien tongue, I've already got one, but it is cursed. Hedgehog gives us both damage types we want, so I'll take that. Cauldron, I think I'm going to pass on, although it is still a reasonable amount of bonus damage, so we'll take the Cauldron as well. Alright, so now we have bouncing Gatling lasers. I definitely could still lose this run too, because I mean we're taking a third of our health in damage if I tank a hit, which is always a dangerous spot to be in, because especially when you have no dodge or anything, because it is still very possible to just take 3 hits in a row and just get popped. So I would like to get a little more armor. I wouldn't mind fixing my max health to like 80 or so that it takes 4 hits instead of 3. We'll see what shows up in the boxes. I'll take the treasure map. I think there's still time for that. We'll take mouse for sure. Losing armor's bad, but you can't not take any unique level 1 items on this character. I'll roll here. We'll take some attack speed, and then we'll buy all of these items and roll. Another cursed alien tongue. Sure, I'll take that. And you know what? We'll buy the baby with a beard just for fun. It's not going to be particularly strong, but it is even more projectiles on the field. The bag we don't need. I guess I'll just ban it here. Because buying that going into wave 20 when we already have one, so it's not giving us damage, wouldn't do anything. So you get to see a rare event there where I ban bag. Almost never happens. I mean, it requires a very specific set of circumstances, right? We have to be in like the last 3 waves or so and still have bans, and then roll a bag and not have bought all the bags and everything. Because otherwise you're 100% to buy that item every time you see it, pretty much. I love how much everything's getting lit up by the Gatling lasers and the fire from the burning. Oh, there was the loot alien. I couldn't find it at first. Fuel tank, I guess I'm recycling. I will... we already have a pencil, so we'll just ban that. And then I'm going to roll here, and we'll take 12% damage, which gets reduced to 2%, but is still fine. I could take a cursed rocket launcher. Cursed weapons are always fun. Let's just go ahead and do that, and then we'll buy baby with a beard, and we'll buy the shuriken, and then we'll roll, and then roll again for fun, roll again for fun. Okay, the tardigrade would have made me very safe this wave, but we can't get it. But let's see what happens in the boss wave. See if our Gatling laser can just cook these bosses quickly. The good news is we do have some lifesteal and we've got fairy. So even if I'm tanking hits and my health isn't amazing, we can still heal back up. But honestly, we're not killing the bosses as quickly as I would have hoped. Now that there's more enemies on the field, we're actually quite a bit safer because our lifesteal is more useful when there's more enemies. Well, my movement here has been very poor, but we're slowly getting the whale boss down. All right, there we go. We got the first boss, and now things are a lot easier because I can much more easily and safely focus damage on the second boss. And there we go. Okay, a surprisingly tense boss wave, given how well that run was going. But there we go. That's one of the most fun runs in the game, and it got even more fun with the Gatling laser. Let's look at our weapons here. And I should say, the reason that the boss wave was tense, it is because we bought Gatling laser, right? And we bought rocket launcher, we bought the baby with a beard for more projectiles. So we made things a little bit, we bought the ricochet. We made things harder on ourselves by buying goofy items, but sometimes you'd buy goofy items and just have fun anyways. Gatling laser dealt 44,000 damage in the last wave compared to 15 to 18k on our shurikens, and the rocket launcher was pretty bad. Scared sausage dealt 16k over the course of the run. We had 172 materials from Loot Worm, 123 from Spyglass. This was kind of a low economy run, so we didn't save that much from Spyglass. Tentacle did very well for us. 6k damage on the rat, but that was only there to increase our percent damage. We had... what else? 900 damage on our random landmines. Our Catling gun did well, 23,000 damage. And then... we got 120 materials from our bag, 0 items from our treasure map, which we took out of a box. So, you know, we were hoping that it would do something, but it didn't end up doing anything. And then 1700 from the baby with a beard. So this is, of course, a sick run. I highly recommend Renegade with shurikens. I think it's just one of the most fun runs in the game. Obviously, finding the Gatling laser made things even more ridiculous in this run, but you just end up with so many projectiles, and it becomes so absurd how much stuff you're putting out on the field and how quickly enemies will die as a result of that. All right, my friends, hope you enjoyed this run, and of course, if you have, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.